Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393 if you want to get in touch with us during the course of the day. Much to talk about, as usual. Got to revisit the Nashville shooting. And, of course, the fact that the manifesto that the trans person who murdered 6 people there, that person wrote, whether you want to call him or her, who knows, whatever. But the trans person who just shot up the school. Now, the trans person also attended that school, right? So, some really interesting things to say in the manifesto, and they wouldn't release it. But yesterday it was leaked to Steven Crowder, and he shared those contents with the world, fortunately. So we finally know at least some. 3 pages, and so I don't know if there's more pages than that, but that's what was released and what we have information about. So the 3 pages tell us quite a bit. The 28-year-old female shot and killed 3 children, of course, and 3 adults at the Covenant School in Nashville. It's a Christian school. The shooter, identified as a transgender man, if you don't remember, left behind that manifesto. The manifesto was found at the shooter's home, included a map of the school, and police have kept it under wraps all this time. So,
yeah, remember the Nashville police were very forthcoming with details of
originally.
That. And then the FBI showed up, and then all of a sudden there was a lid.
Yeah. All of a sudden, sorry, none of your business. Really? Because it seems like if this was an obvious MAGA person, those details would be blasted everywhere all the time.
Yeah, and beyond this that was released or leaked, what other evidence do they have? They have a lot of stuff, cell phones.
Much more than this. But one of the things she wrote was, "Today is the day. The day has finally come!" Exclamation point. I'm a little nervous, but excited, too. Been excited for the past 2 weeks. There were several times I could have been caught, especially back in the summer of 2021.
Yeah.
Man.
Of course, federal law enforcement in the summer of 2021 was doing other things.
Yeah, right.
Checking out parents that were complaining about books.
Yeah, the most dangerous people in the country. They're white supremacists that were trying to keep books out of the hands of 4-year-olds.
Chasing down grandmas that were walking around the Capitol on January 6th.
Really
but anyway,
important work. But
almost caught her.
She went on, "Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm ready. I hope my victims aren't." Geez. God, let my wrath take over my anxiety. Wow. No. That's pretty ugly stuff right there. You're appealing to God to help you murder innocent people? It might be 10 minutes tops, she wrote. It might be 3 to 7. It's going to go quick. I hope I have a high death count. And concluded the entry, "Ready to die." Jeez. Some other things that were part of this. Let the massacre begin. Time to die. Kill those kids. Those crackers going to private fancy schools, which she obviously went to as well, with those fancy quackies, I think she means khakis, plus sports backpacks with their THIER, with their daddies' Mustangs and convertibles. F you little people, I'll say. It starts with the it's the S word. I wish to shoot you weak ass dicks and with your mop yellow hair. Want to kill all you little crackers. Bunch of little, and then she uses the F word pertaining to homosexuals. With your white privileges. Oh, man. And then she uses the F word, both F words, again, to end it up.
Yeah, she's a product of...
really sweet.
Of DEI and CRT.
Right. This is all left-wing garbage.
Yep.
That our kids and this whole generation have been poisoned with.
This is why they didn't want this released.
Again, if this was rhetoric that was spilling out of the mouth of a Trump supporter, and they got some of the actual lingo from Trump, what do you think would be happening right now? All hell would break loose.
I mean, this is the logical conclusion of someone who is brainwashed like this.
Yeah.
This anti-white stuff, hate yourself, because we've talked about this.
Hate the rich,
and
hate the white.
Well, yeah, and if you hate yourself, then obviously that rage is going to build up, because this is where we have talked about if you are white, if you are straight, if you're Christian, then these are all things that you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And drawn to its logical conclusion.
And you're fair game.
We are. Yeah.
You're fair game.
I thought this was a great point by Allie Beth Stuckey, who does a show here on The Blaze. I thought this tweet really summed it up perfectly. Not only did the Covenant school shooter target children for being Christian, she targeted them because they were white. This is no less evil than Dylan Roof. Remember South Carolina? Mm-hmm. And deserves equal outrage and demands for change. The anti-white hatred that has become not just acceptable, but celebrated, must be put to an end now. Because Dylan Roof, I mean, that, if you recall, in Charleston, South Carolina, he murdered black Christians at a church. And the next thing you know, we've got the Confederate flag is gone everywhere because it was in a background of a picture he took. Obviously, the murder of people based on race is despicable.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yes.
But it's not going to get the same treatment this go around.
Oh my gosh. It'll get no treatment.
Yep.
From the left-wing press, the left-wing media. None. Zero. And it's just, as Allie pointed out, it's just as despicable. It's just as wrong. Mm-hmm. But it's acceptable to the left. They don't care about this. This is fine. They talk this kind of trash every single day, all day. They teach this kind of trash to our kids. This eat the rich mentality. I mean, part of the problem is white privilege here.
Right.
What? White privilege that you also had? What? And you're self-loathing? Again, it's too bad she didn't start with herself. Just start there. And then, that saves a lot of lives. But obviously she didn't. She wanted to go out with a bang. She wanted to be noticed. And it's really, really amazing. Was this the fourth trans shooting, it seems, in the last couple of years?
Boy, there's been many.
So something's definitely wrong there. We're always talking about this disproportionate number of whoever in whatever arena. Man, this is a hugely disproportionate number.
Yeah.
The number of mass killings by transgender people, wonder why nobody's talking about that. Wonder why we haven't delved into that. Looked at the reasons behind it.
Yeah. Christopher Rufo wrote, you can get a newsletter from Heritage in Premise, and this month he wrote the article, and it talked about the transgender empire. And there's an example that he writes about, and this is so insidious, Pat, where a children's hospital in Chicago is funding all of this trans insanity, brainwashing kids, teaching them about all sorts of sexual things, kinks and BDSM or whatever it is. Anyway, and teaching the kids this and basically perverting their minds. And teaching them that, hey, you know what? If you're actually a boy, but you don't think you are, you know what? Maybe you should explore being a girl. And, oh, by the way, remember what I said at the beginning of this? All this was brought into the schools through their governor by a local children's hospital. They're setting up a clientele to bring these children in. First, you get into schools, you screw up their minds. Then you bring them into the hospitals, and then you mutilate them and ruin their lives. And then you end up having this rage, and you have these children who are confused. It's, as he called it, the transgender empire. It's absolutely hideous what they are doing to our children.
Yeah, and it's acceptable for some reason to an awful lot of people in this country and around the world. But let's go back 7 months to the day the Covenant school shooting happened. Here were the first things you might remember that Joe Biden said after the news broke.
My name is Joe Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden's husband.
Oh, that's real funny.
And I ate Jenny's ice cream, chocolate chip.
My gosh.
I came down because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. By the way, I have a whole refrigerator full upstairs.
That's what he said. That's what he had to say at the very
first
beginning.
words. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's like shout out to
Dr. Joe Medicine Crow or whatever his name was.
Obama did after Fort Hood shooting. I mean, these
despicable.
These people are absolutely just grotesque.
And when he was asked if he thought Christians were targeted, he laughed that off.
Do you believe that Christians were targeted in Nashville school shooting? Do you believe that Christians were targeted?
I have no idea.
Josh Foley believes they were. What do you say to that?
Well, I probably don't then.
Probably don't.
Yeah, that's
I have
real
no
funny.
idea.
Wow. Guy's pathetic. Just.
If he thinks that, then I probably don't.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's just.
Yeah, real funny. Joe, 6 people were just murdered. Wow. So, maybe he's just tone deaf when tragedy strikes in America, but I mean, things are actually so good in Joe Biden's America.
Aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, guy compared the cost of groceries in 2001 with today.
Okay, so we have to put up with his evil and his tone deafness and his lack of self-awareness in order to, the trade-off is the good times that we're living. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Like, check out this little experiment.
All right.
2001, this all would cost in Southern California $81. Let's go
$81.
see how much it costs right now today in 2023.
Big old buggy full of groceries. So he's going to get the same exact items today.
Excuse me.
So it's $81.
I got 3 bags
What do you think
of
it's gonna
Lay's,
be
3
today,
gallons of Horizon whole milk, 2 12 packs of soda.
Pause it for a sec. Okay, so it was $81
81.
in 2001.
Yeah.
I'm going to say $83.50.
Okay, so Pat's going to say the times are a little bit rough.
Yeah, a little tougher.
A couple bucks more now.
A little tougher. I mean, inflation has bumped it up. That's understandable. Let's see. Is it going to be more than $83.50?
Man,
I don't
Cocoa
think so.
Pebbles, 3 pints
guess,
of
Pat.
orange
Good
juice,
guess.
Tropicana, 3 packs of bacon, Wonder Bread, 3 of these, 4 cartons of eggs, and 2 DiGiorno's. Here's the other thing to keep in mind. There's also shrinkflation, so you're also getting less Oreos, less potato chips.
That's
Everything's
for sure.
smaller. Let's go see how much it costs
83
right
is
now
your
today
final
in
answer, Pat?
2023.
$83.50.
Oh, 50. Oh, look
Yeah.
at you try to tack that on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the final finale.
Okay.
$195, so it's 2.5 times more.
My gosh. In 22 years? That's incredible. Wow.
2.5 times more.
Yeah, so things are going well in Joe Biden's America. If you think you're not doing well, that's just your feelings because
that's right.
you really are doing really, really well.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing so much better now than you were under Donald Trump, and it just pisses me off that you don't understand that.
That's fair.
How many times do I have to explain it to you?
You have a right
How
to be
well
pissed.
you're doing. I am pissed right now, Keith. It's so many people who think they're not doing as well as they were under Trump. What's the matter with you? What are you, stupid? Check out your checkbook, for one thing. Look at your food pantry. Look at the price of gas. It's gone down. It's not $7 anymore. Okay? What do you want? What does it take to make you people happy? Wow. I mean, it's almost impossible to make Americans happy today. All of a sudden, they want no inflation. Right?
Yeah, that's rude.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah, but I guess, are we the only ones that are feeling this way? That we're just blind? Can we play the CBS report? It's a brief little thing here. You got to see this.
This is how people feel under America.
Okay.
Under
Now, part of the
American
challenge for
leader Joe
Mr. Biden here is that people are simply pretty pessimistic at the moment.
Why?
73% said that things are just going badly in America right now, and that's up from 65% at the start of the year. So voters just don't feel great about where things stand right now.
Weird. That's weird.
It goes back to your point. It's
exactly.
the feeling.
That's exactly my point. It's like what's her face said the other day. It's your feelings. And they have nothing to do with reality. They're completely disconnected from reality. I don't know why you feel this way, but you shouldn't, because you're doing great, and America's doing great. Think about this. A couple of years ago, we weren't in any wars. Now we're in 2. Soon to be 3, maybe. Soon to be maybe a whole world of war. And you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And look at how well America's major cities are doing right now.
Oh, okay.
For instance, somebody did a walkthrough on their way to work in San Francisco.
Okay.
They went through the Tenderloin district. Used to be a really nice area.
Tenderloin.
And now it's even nicer. Well, yeah, it's named after the delicious steak. So,
okay.
You know, it's a wealthy area if it's named after delicious steak.
Might need to rename it after this video, huh?
No.
I want to see this.
I don't know. You judge for yourself. We're doing great here. And here's a little walkthrough.
Okay, now this is a nice area.
Now, this is a woman walking through this area.
Gosh.
She's taking her life in her hands.
No kidding. Nothing but people laying around on the sidewalks and into the streets.
Trash.
Completely.
Drug paraphernalia everywhere.
Drugged out, man.
Guys passed out.
This looks like Philadelphia. Remember those videos?
Yes,
yeah.
It does look like the Philadelphia.
The American city's gone.
Because it's going on in every major city.
You taking your kids into the city like this?
No. No. And I'll tell you, I would not do this walkthrough.
No.
She is quite brave for doing this. This is frightening. And sad.
Yeah, but
all of these people that are just
passed out.
Yep.
I mean,
tossed out on the street.
Look at that trash. I thought California was supposed to be all, especially San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
We're green. We're environmentally friendly.
That doesn't seem too friendly, does it, to the environment?
I don't know that a street sweeper is going to help you out here.
Oh, this is just sad.
This is America, man. This is
man, oh man.
This is America, the American city, 2023.
San Francisco's pissed off about the image they have. Well, maybe you should do something about it then, other than...
What's this guy? Wait, there's a guy sweeping.
Yeah, there is a guy sweeping, so things are going well there. See?
You go. Good job, man. Now it's better.
You think, why bother? I mean, look at this area.
No, he fixed it. He fixed
it. He fixed it?
Yeah, he fixed
it. Okay. All right.
He fixed that one square of the sidewalk.
It's so bad.
And I'm with you. I mean, walking through here, you're asking for trouble. But, but the one thing you got going for you is everybody is so strung out that they're just
they
laying
don't even
around
know you're walking
lethargic.
by. Mm-hmm.
They don't even know they're on this planet at this point. What a depressing,
sad.
The even more sad part is I don't know what happened to her audio because it was pretty bad. I tried to fix it, but it's not working. But it was like she was so nice to these people. She's like, "Okay, sweetie, excuse me, sweetie, honey, give me. I'm just trying to move here." I'm like, wow. So she really knows all these people by now.
Yeah, she apparently walks that route every day.
Gosh,
I mean, this is one of the world's most beautiful cities. Just a few. Well, it's probably been a decade or two ago now.
Yeah.
But just a short time ago, it was one of the best cities in the world. And now look at it. Jeez. But you can say that about city after city in the United States. It's just really, really, really tragic.
Now, I don't own a professional sports franchise. I personally don't anymore.
I'm surprised.
I sold it. So, but why would you build a stadium anywhere in the city limits of any major American
Well, you
city?
wouldn't. And that's why they built clear out in...
Seriously?
Is it Santa Marita, California?
Yeah, they're an hour away, man.
Yeah, they're like 40 miles from downtown.
49ers,
or more than that. So.
But, I mean, like, the Giants are still down there, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, Candlestick Park.
Yeah, I don't know where the...
Yeah,
where does Golden State play?
Oakland.
Are they in Oakland still?
Yeah, I think
wow,
so.
that's
I
scary
don't know
too.
where the arena is, but I mean, in other words, just pay attention to your own town. Any stadium from here on out, not a chance they're gonna. I would assume gonna build it in a city. The cities are gone, man.
Yeah, they're.
Why? How? If you're attracting fans into the town and to see your team, why are you gonna ask them to come down to these hellholes? It's just
you're not. You're not going to attract fans. You might attract flies with the way the cities are, but you're not going to get any fans going in there. All right, let me take a minute to tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you've ever bought or sold a house in your life, you know that the process can be overwhelming. It's super stressful. On the selling end, it's hard to know what things you should focus on the most. Do you get the deck repaired? Do you replace the carpets? How about the roof? Does that need to be redone? Paint the interiors, the exteriors maybe. If so, what colors are trending with home buyers these days? And what about the buying end? Maybe you think you know what you want going into it, but do you really know? It's a big decision, and you're going to be living in this place that you're buying probably for quite a while, right? These things and so many more are why it's really important to have the best real estate agent you possibly can. And Real Estate Agents I Trust, Glenn's company, it's the company that he founded. It can help you out with that. They'll put you in touch with the best. The process is simple. Just go to realestateagentsitrust.com today and provide us with some basic info. Then our team will contact you to make an introduction to our preferred agent in your town. It's just that easy, and it's a free service. Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you're ready for the best in the business, then go to realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. This is unbelievable. It's really... I mean, I can't.
What do you mean? You like story time?
I do like story time.
Yeah, so...
I don't like it with Joe Biden. The stories he tells...
What do you mean?
...are not worth telling. And they're certainly not worth telling dozens and dozens of times
honestly.
Over.
What's more terrifying as a prospect, from your perspective, Pat? Looking ahead to next November, is it the re-election of Joe Biden and the continuation of nation-destroying Marxist policies, or the continuation of telling the same story every other minute? And that's not...
That's a hard
one.
That's
actually not
it
an
really
exaggeration, as you will point out here, when I say he's telling the same story every other minute.
Yeah. Yesterday, he was at an Amtrak station, so maybe you know what's coming now.
Oh, okay.
This is an Amtrak station somewhere in the Northeast.
Yeah, they're going to give your tax dollars away.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been throwing money down that rabbit hole for a long time. Amtrak has never made money. I don't think it's ever made a single penny, and we've continued to subsidize it for decades. So they're about to spend more on trains, and here he was outside the train station.
Outside, okay.
Telling this story.
The community, you know, they were talking about when I was vice president. They did an article about Biden had traveled, well, I think it was 1,200,000 miles on aircraft.
Got to be kidding
me. They list how many miles they travel all the time. And so I'm getting on the train, and Secret Service are great guys, but they understandably would rather me not ride trains because more things can happen on a train in the distance instead of flying home. But I had to come home, see my mom. She was...
And they've got to politely listen to this again.
I go to get in the train on a Friday afternoon, and a guy named Andrew, I guess I shouldn't say his whole name, but he used to be number 2 on the road.
You've said it a million times.
And he walked up, he goes, "Joey, baby!" He grabs my cheek.
He was going to grab the guy's cheek.
And I thought they were going to shoot him. And I said, "What's the story, Angie?" He said, "I just read 1,200,000 miles. Big deal." He said, "You know how many miles you travel on Amtrak?" And I said, "No, Angie." He said, "We did retirement dinner up in Newark."
Let's see.
Did the guys, because most of my team was coming out of New York, you know, in that port. And he said, you know, he said, "You travel over 1,250,000 miles, or 300,000 miles."
Oh, there it is.
How'd you figure that, Angie? He said, well, it's about, I forget the exact number, but I think it's 280 miles round trip.
He forgets the exact number, but...
And he said the Senate's been an average of 117 days a year. He did it for 36 years, almost every day.
Okay.
And then he did as vice president. He said, so that's how we figured it out.
Okay.
I don't hear any more about Air Force stuff.
That's a riveting story. What a riveting story. Again, it's worth hearing for the 97th time. 98.
Oh, you're being conservative.
Jeez. My gosh. Incredible that he told it again, and you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then he went inside.
Okay. What did he do inside?
He gave us the fake jog again.
Yes.
I think we got the fake
I've
jog
been missing
here.
this.
Watch. Here it goes. Oh,
There
wow.
it is.
Look how fast he can run.
Woo!
Woo!
Was that a land speed record that just fell?
Is that Flash? Is he from the TV show Flash? Because, wow, that was impressive.
Okay. That was good.
The
We got the
fake
jog. We didn't get any
jog.
other similar thing happening yesterday,
Well,
did we?
he noticed some people that were above him.
Oh, hell no.
So,
I want to die. Okay, what now?
here's what he had to say.
And if I say anything you don't like, don't jump, okay?
Don't jump, okay. There it is again. Okay, then don't jump. For the 2000th time, probably.
Again, with your conservative estimates.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's about to start his speech, right?
Right. So then he proceeded to tell the same debunked story.
Debunked?
Worse than that, it's a lie.
Yeah.
The same lie that he told outside 20 minutes before.
Oh, no.
So he told this story 20 minutes before, and then he tells it again. And it's still, by the way, still isn't true.
So laborious, too. All right, let's hear this.
Delaware know that as senator, I rode the train back and forth between Washington and Wilmington virtually every day for 36 years when I got elected.
Hey, okay, stop talking.
And
Yeah,
then as
stop
vice
talking.
president as well.
Oh, no, here we go.
Amtrak wasn't just a way to get home to family.
No.
The conductors and engineers became my family.
Oh,
Not
no,
a joke.
he's going to do it.
I'd have a major event from my home every year.
Oh, hell.
All the conductors and engineers.
Hell.
From New York on down to Washington.
Does this story have an
When I was
emergency
vice
brake?
president, I flew over 1 million miles on Air Force
he
Two,
is
but
gonna
I
do
traveled
it. He flew
further
over
than that
1 million miles.
Amtrak over the years.
Yeah.
I remember one of the conductors when I was going home.
What's his name?
Secret Service is
Wouldn't be
wonderful.
Ange,
They really
would it?
are.
Angelo?
But they'd rather
Ange?
you not travel
Joey,
Amtrak.
baby!
It stops, not Amtrak, rail.
Rail.
It has to
Rail.
stop so damn many times. And there's so many options for people to do
So
things
many-
they don't want
so
to
many
have
options.
done.
Right.
So, but I was coming home to see my
Take the
mom.
express, bro.
And I just,
coming
she
home
was
to see
living
his
with us
mom.
at the time. My dad had passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
That's funny
Oh,
that his dad
yeah.
passed
Oh,
away.
I loved it when I lost my dad.
Yeah, me
You
too.
And
dumbass.
I won't get him into complete trouble. Just tell his first name. He was number 2 in seniority at the time.
You're not gonna get him in
Angelo.
trouble.
Right.
And Ange came up to me
It's
and I
not
walked in.
true.
He said, "Joey," and he grabbed my cheek.
Baby.
He said, "Joey, baby."
There it is.
Yeah.
He said, "All this stuff," because that's published in the newspaper.
Yeah, what?
Pause
I
it for a
traveled
sec.
1,200,000.
And this is a chilling story. Not a lot of people understand how chilling this story
Okay.
is because Ange was dead at the time.
See, that's
when this happened.
That actually makes it more interesting.
It would make it more interesting if
But
he would
he
mention
never
that
mentions that
aspect of the
Yes.
story. Now it makes
Right.
it interesting and riveting. Okay, the guy was dead, and he came up and told you these things, and then he pinched your cheek and called you Joey baby.
I can see why the
Weird.
Secret Service would freak out. This decomposed body is grabbing my face.
Had they shot him like you were worried about, wouldn't have mattered
Wouldn't have done anything.
because just would have gone through him as a ghost.
I want to vomit
So,
listening to this.
Anyway, there's more.
Uh-huh.
Let's hear the rest.
Air
This will
Force
surprise you.
planes as vice president.
Yeah.
They published that. in
Did
the
he?
regular
Did you
press.
travel more miles on
It's a
Amtrak?
big-
That's hard to
I won't
believe.
quote him exactly.
Come on
It's
now.
a big deal, Joe.
I won't quote him exactly.
It's a big effing deal,
I
is
said,
what he
"What's
wants
the
to
meaning?"
say.
He said, "Look," he said, "we just had the retirement dinner
Right.
up in Newark." He said, "You know how many miles you travel on Amtrak?"
How many?
And I said, "No." He said, 1 million. I think it was 320,000 miles.
Yeah. 1,300,000.
And I said, "How'd you figure that?" He said, "Well, 118 days a year.
A year.
Almost 300
Almost
miles a
a
day.
day.
36 years. Plus his wife, he went on the
You
whole
got
deal.
yourself 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
after a while.
Let me get in the train, will you? But the point is, Tommy and I particularly spend a lot of time on the train.
Yeah. Interesting because he had retired years, like a decade before that, or two. And he had also died before that could have occurred. So it's a fascinating story in that light. But he never tells that part of it. Never tells those two aspects. Okay? Ange had been long retired, and Angie had died.
Yeah, but
Which
you're
is-
right, though, Pat. That would have really helped the story out.
It would have helped it out,
And
I
then
think.
this, zombie guy that I used to know comes
Right.
up to me. It was really memorable.
And he grabs my cheek
Secret
with his
Service.
ghostly fingers, and he says, "Joey, baby." And then he moaned, like ghosts often do.
Yeah.
More coming
Come
up.
on, man.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here for you. Fury and Energy tweets. We're reaping the product of sowing affirmation of mental illness. Sarah the Roma. Parents now are too busy trying to be their kid's friend and getting clout on the internet instead of actually parenting. That's the problem. One of many. Tamara B. That walkthrough of the Tenderloin section of San Francisco looks like a scene from the TV show The Walking Dead. Doesn't it, though? Swifty's smallmouth bass. If anybody is shocked about this exponential inflation, they shouldn't be. It's both a known result and eagerly expected by some. The middle class must be ended so the masses become dependent. They're almost there. Eckerton Tom, America is quickly becoming the homeless nation of the world. And from Squatching Duck, from Joe Biden, and I was raised by trained people. No joke. No joke. It's incredible how many times his stories have been debunked, disputed, outed as flat out outrageous lies over and over and over. Washington Post, New York Times, everybody, Newsweek, so many left-wing publications have admitted these stories aren't true. How is it that he continues to tell them over and over and over again? Twice within a 20-minute period of time yesterday. I mean, shameless for one thing, or the dementia is just so bad that he doesn't remember that he ever told it before, even 20 minutes later. I don't know. Yeah, it's incredible.
A lot going on there. It's not
incredible.
Charming grandfather telling the same war stories over and over again every time you see him. It's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a provable
and we all know
lie.
It's a lie. Yeah, because it's been proven many times. And still, he subjects us to it over and over and over again. Incredible. Here's a story, by the way, we're not hearing anything about. U.S. Coast Guard is investigating a small band of protesters who breached a fence line and attempted to prevent the departure of a military sea lift vessel at the port of Oakland at 8:30 on Friday morning.
Oh.
Sector San Francisco received a report that a demonstration was underway at Port of Oakland's outer harbor, next to the berth of the sea lift ship Cape Orlando. 1 hour later, watchstanders learned that several of the protesters had breached the fence surrounding the pier. Some of the demonstrators staged a sit-in, but others began tampering with the ship's mooring lines and attempted to climb up the vessel's pilot ladder.
See, they just want a ceasefire, though.
That's all they want.
If there was
Is
a
that
ceasefire,
too much to ask?
They wouldn't be trying to board a U.S. ship here.
Right, that's right. Several Coast Guard boat crews and boarding teams were dispatched to assist, and about 1,000? They helped Coast Guard investigative services?
10 a.m.
Oh, about 10 a.m. Yeah. Okay, that's...
military time.
That's about 1,000 hours then. 10 hours. Okay. 1,000.
1,000. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. They helped Coast Guard investigative services members and local law enforcement remove the protesters from the pier. Well, they're just protesting. That's their freedom of speech right there. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them board the ship if they want to.
Yeah,
should
about
that be
an
a problem?
hour? It took an hour to do this, and you had to call local law enforcement?
Very bizarre. It's an hour and a half. If it started at 8:30,
okay, an hour
ended at 10:00 hours.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, but we're just not.
Well, it sounds like they need to go to prison.
Doesn't it, though?
I mean, I'm serious.
It does sound like that,
and,
yeah.
And you could easily just say...
arrest them at least.
Yeah, you could say, hey, look, if quote, taking over the Capitol gets you decades behind bars...
Oh, right.
Then taking
parading.
over a military ship...
They paraded and they milled in the people's house, and some of them are going to jail for 22 years over it. Crazy. Just amazing. But this, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. It's not an issue. Did you see John Fetterman actually dealing with a Hamas sympathizer the other day? This is interesting.
No, see, Fetterman, I love that he is so strong for Israel.
I do too. He's been great on this.
But the point of this...
Yeah, this doesn't really work. Right. I wonder if he... Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Honestly, is he not admitting he does not belong in the U.S. Senate with this clip?
I don't know. You tell us. Here it is.
Then Fetterman says this.
The joke is on you. I had a stroke. I can't fully understand what you're saying.
The man is eventually escorted out by police as he tells the senator to go home.
Bro!
Oh my God!
Not your strongest point to be leading with.
No, you might want to keep that one in your inside voice, there, John.
I mean, just call the guy an anti-Semite and move on with your day, but don't admit
the joke's on you. I had a stroke. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even understand words. Okay. I'm not sure that's a really good point for you to make, frankly. That's the point we've been making.
That's the point we've been making for
the whole
a
time.
year.
Right. Since even before the election. So,
Joke's on you. I'm incompetent.
I shouldn't even be in the Senate.
Thanks for coming out. I swear. What a bizarro world.
It's incredible. And Barack Obama gave some thoughts on Israel versus Hamas, too. So
no.
Got that going for us.
There's any chance of us being able to act constructively to do something, it will require an admission of complexity and maintaining what on the surface may seem contradictory ideas. That what Hamas did was horrific, and there's no justification.
Please tell me, that was it?
Huh? Where's the whole clip? That's a long clip. That's like a 3-minute long clip.
That wasn't 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he's waking up the gerbil and the Commodore 64.
Okay.
I just got to hang on.
All right.
So we're hanging.
So we're hanging on. But it sounds like there's a but coming.
Yeah, there's
what
some,
Hamas did was horrific, but justifiable? Or is that where we're going to go? He won't go that far? Because that's what a lot of the protesters are saying, that it was justifiable.
Oh, yeah.
It's Israel's fault.
Definitely.
That they got attacked and 1,400 innocent people were slaughtered. That's your fault. So now, if you would just remove yourselves from the planet, you wouldn't have these things happen to you.
Seems cut and dry.
You're right.
All right, here we go. There's the rest of Obama's ramblings.
That what Hamas did was horrific.
Right.
And there's no justification for it. And what is also true is that the occupation.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, here we are.
You got don't go there.
What's happening to Palestinians?
Right. What's happening
is
unbearable.
Is unbearable.
Pause it. Okay. He's justifying what he just said was unjustified.
Isn't that great? Isn't it? Great.
Well, that's his point, though. It's complicated. Yeah, it was horrific, but you know what? It's also justified.
Yeah.
So
that's what you get for occupying.
Yeah, that's what you get for occupying your own country. That's like saying Texas is occupied territory. New Mexico is occupied. California is occupied. Yes, it's ours. We occupy it. The West Bank, the real name of the West Bank is Judea. They don't call it that because that would show you who the territory really belongs to. These territories were seized and taken from them in wars. And eventually they got sick of being attacked from these areas and just kept them permanently. But they put a settlement there. Yeah, we put settlements in Texas too. Are you aware of that? There are settlements here. We're living in one of those settlements called the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It's a settlement, a United States settlement. I mean, this is despicable. Who has to tolerate this kind of nonsense? Nobody but Israel. I mean, we are accused that way too. So it's usually the U.S. and Israel that have to put up with this. Any other country on earth? I mean, Russia doesn't even. They took territory in 2014 from Ukraine, and they don't have to hear this nonsense all the time. That's occupied territory. When are you going to give that back? Is anybody saying that? Almost never. In fact, in this dispute, everybody's saying, well, yeah, Ukraine should just admit, okay, that's Russia now, and let's just make peace. It'll be fine. Just make peace.
We're not going to finish this clip, are we? No, I'm asking because it's only going to get further enraging for you.
Oh, jeez. All right. There's more.
Mm-hmm. And what is also true is that there is a history.
Jeez.
There's a history
of the Jewish people that may be dismissed unless your grandparents or your great-grandparents or your uncle or your aunt tell you stories about the madness of anti-Semitism.
Okay, he's pulling it back a little.
And what is true is that there are people right now who are dying who have nothing to do with what Hamas did.
That's not true.
And what is true, right? I mean, we can go on for a while.
The only thing the audience applauds is the pro-Hamas garbage.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. What about the hostages? Are we going to mention those ever?
Wow.
You notice they are always missing from these conversations from these guys.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear the rest.
And the problem with the social media and trying to TikTok activism and trying to debate this on that is you can't speak the truth. You can pretend to speak the truth. You can speak one side of the truth. And in some cases, you can try to maintain your moral innocence, but that won't solve the problem.
This guy.
And so if you want to solve the problem,
tell me. Great
then
one.
you have to take in the whole truth.
Oh.
And you then have to admit nobody's hands are clean.
Oh my gosh.
That
wow.
All of us are complicit to some degree. I look at this and I think back, what could I have done during my presidency to move this forward as hard as I tried? I've got the scars to prove it.
Oh, he's got scars to prove it.
But there's a part of me that's still saying, well, was there something else I could have done?
Yeah.
That's the conversation we should be having.
I don't know. You screwed things up pretty well.
Looking backwards, but looking
I don't know
forward.
how much more you could have.
And that can't happen.
Mess this situation up.
We are confining ourselves to our outrage. I would rather see you out there talking to people, including people who you disagree with. If you genuinely want to change this, then you've got to figure out how to speak to somebody on the other side and listen to them and understand what they are talking about.
Right.
And not dismiss it.
It's pretty hard.
Because
all right,
you
pause
can't
it there. It's pretty hard when you're trying to discuss a peaceful solution to a problem when the other side wants your total annihilation and has made it clear that they won't be happy with anything short of that. Sorry, we don't just want a homeland. We want your homeland, and we want you off of it, and we want to take it all. How do you reason with those people?
Yeah,
how?
I mean, these are the same people that torture children to death in their homes.
Yeah.
And
cut off the heads of babies.
Made their parents watch, gouged eyes out, raped. But we're supposed to sit down and negotiate with those people. I don't think so, Barack. That's the end of that clip, by the way. And this guy Daniel Ben Namer on Twitter, I thought this was perfect. There was a ceasefire on October 6th.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yes.
You had your ceasefire. Oh, by the way, did you hear the...
And you had your freedom for Palestine in 2005 when Israel pulled out. Pathetic.
Yeah, we had the elderly Jewish man in, was it L.A.? One of these demonstrations where his big crime was holding an Israeli flag. And for his trouble, I don't know if he got hit in the head with a bullhorn, but he ended up falling back and hit his head, and he died.
Oh, my gosh.
And police are not ruling out a hate crime, which is shocking considering it's California. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh,
but no, definitely. Let's sit down and talk with these people.
All right. Are you ready for a health revelation that could change your life? Listen to this. In the modern age, it's more important than ever to take care of your liver. You probably ask yourself, why should I? It's simple. Your liver is a powerhouse with 5 key functions that greatly affect how you look and feel. These include weight management, energy levels, cholesterol, hormone health, and brain health. The problem is that we're in a silent epidemic right now. If you were to add up all the residents of South Carolina, Indiana, Massachusetts, Arizona, Virginia, Florida, and Texas, you'd still not get the 100 million Americans that have a sluggish, fatty liver that makes people gain weight and experience chronic fatigue. Probably even your liberal neighbor has it. So don't be a liberal. Start taking care of your health. Try the product I recommend. Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement. It's packed with clinically proven botanicals to help you recharge and protect your liver. By going to my dedicated page, you'll also get a free bottle of nano-powered omega-3. It's a total discount of 64%. You won't find this offer anywhere else. So, order today at getliverhelp.com/Pat. That's getliverhelp.com/Pat. Remember, a healthy liver is a happier you.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yes, it is. Well, a celebrity agonizing over his daughter's opinions and positions on things probably gives you a pretty good idea who that is and who we're talking about. We're going to get into that coming up after the break. Also, I think we have a follow-up to yesterday's very late discussion about Caleb Williams.
Oh, yeah, the crybaby?
Yeah, the crybaby. Mm-hmm. The Heisman Trophy winning crybaby who quarterbacks the USC Trojans.
Yeah, on your Instagram page, that really spurred quite a discussion on should we be mocking the guy for crying after a loss? Does it show...
There's no crying in football.
No crying in football.
There's no crying in football. Certainly if that's true in baseball, it's more true in football.
Well, we got a follow-up. Because he addressed his
weeping, wailing, jumping up in the arms of his parents after the game.
They call it the
precious,
Lambo Weep.
Precious.
They're calling the Lambo Weep.
More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us. Got some tweets here. Adrian Slade tweets, Biden can afford to ride an Amtrak to and from work every day for years when he's getting checks from China for driving nothing but selling out America. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And that brings up another point. Amtrak is really expensive. That is not a middle-class way to commute every day. That's very, very pricey. Carl Smith, since when does the Vice President of the United States take public transportation anywhere? Yeah. Well, since Biden. Oliver Klusov, Biden has become that doll you had as a kid where you pull the string on the back and 4 or 5 pre-recorded messages play. From Be Healthy, Biden's fake jog reminds me of my wife when my wife crosses a street. It doesn't actually speed anything up. It's just your way of telling cars that you're aware they're there.
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way, you got to wave, when you're crossing.
Yeah.
That pisses me off, man. If I'm sitting in a parking lot and you're crossing and I'm nice enough not to run you over, at least be like, hey, thanks, I appreciate you not killing me today. But these people that just keep walking and just act like...
Don't even look like...
It's not even a crosswalk.
Like they had the right of way? Bastards. Micah 6'8" is enough. Have you noticed when Fetterman wants to mock questioning. He seems to be very skilled with his words and delivery.
That's a great point. When he's being a jerk, it comes naturally for him.
Getting back to Obama for just a second, and we both sides have a great point kind of take on things, and we're not going to solve this until we realize both sides of the issue. That's been the exact problem for 70 years now, is we're trying to play both sides against the middle. It doesn't work. Pick a side and take care of the situation. And the side we should pick is Israel's. They're the ones we have everything in common with. Not the Palestinian terrorists. Not the people who killed children. And not the people who, as Obama said, have nothing to do with Hamas. Of course they have something to do with Hamas. They have everything to do with Hamas. They elected them to lead them. Don't tell me that they don't even have a thing to do with Hamas. That's their government. It's like saying Americans that we got nothing to do with the Biden administration. No, I'm sorry. We have everything to do with the Biden administration. It's our elected leader, supposedly. And we're responsible for that terrible freaking decision. And now we're reaping the consequences of that terrible decision. Same thing in Palestine. Same thing. Pick a side. The side is Israel. Israel tried to work this out in 1947. The UN tried to work it out. Both sides had a nation. Both of them had the country they both supposedly wanted. But again, for the 100th time, that's not what the Palestinians wanted. They didn't want a nation. They wanted the elimination of Israel and Jews. And they've stuck with that ever since. They've never backed off that position. They've never said, you know what, that was extreme. We don't agree with that. Israel can exist. Just give us our homeland, would you please? That's not their position. It never has been.
Yeah, I would love to have Barack Obama or someone like him be asked, do you think the tens of thousands of people marching in streets in Europe and here in America, do you think they want to sit down and have a conversation and hear Israel's side of this?
No, they don't.
Do you think, and you've got to start calling these protests what they are. They're just pro-Hamas, as far as I'm concerned.
They are.
Because none of them, I'm not seeing any signs of them saying, we condemn Hamas. Right?
No,
they're not. None of those are out there. It's all what river to the sea, baby. That's what they're out there for. Over and over,
they say the river to the sea. That's what they're chanting in all of these places where hundreds of thousands of people are gathering. From the river to the sea. That means from the Jordan to the Mediterranean, they want it all. That's what it means.
I want a sign.
Wake up.
I want to start seeing signs at these stupid rallies that say, Hamas was wrong, let's get along. How you like that, huh? Write that one down.
Yeah, I like that.
So I want these people interviewed man on the street.
You know they won't.
And I want people asked at these rallies, was what Hamas did on October 7th wrong? Let's see it. Let's hear those answers.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, because what they'll say is it was justified.
Of course.
John Voight talked about his daughter, Angelina Jolie, of course, as it relates to this conflict. Apparently, Angie Jolie has been very supportive of Hamas and the Palestinians. And here's what Voight had to say about that. And it went a little something like this.
I'm very disappointed that my daughter, like so many, has no understanding of God's honor, God's truths. This is about destroying the history of God's land, the Holy Land, the land of the Jews. This is justice for God's children of the Holy Land. Holy Land. Israel, the Israeli army, must protect thy soil, thy people. This is war. It's not going to be what the left thinks. It can't be civil now. Israel was attacked by inhuman terror on innocent babies, mothers, fathers, grandparents. And you fools calling Israel the problem, you should look at yourselves and ask, who am I? What am I? And ask God, am I learning the truths or am I being lied to and following everyone else? Because, my friends, The ones who understand truth see the lie. They see Israel has been attacked, and these animals want to wipe out Jews, Christians. They see that the Palestinians have not been neglected of finance. They've been given huge infusions of money that they didn't share with the people. They made weapons instead for their rage. Mm-hmm. The people of Israel care for people. They love, they cherish, something these animals don't understand. Well, my friends of all nations, justice will prevail, because the power that Israel stands for, the ancient history of the sacred land that once stood with Moses and Jesus, the land that was given truth for justice for all, and Jesus sacrificed his life for the people, and Moses claimed the land, and Jericho was dropped. Of course, we all want peace, we want love, don't we? But we can't be with these animals wanting Jews and Christians to be wiped from the earth. The lie that Israel is killing innocent people when all have free will to go, but they are prisoners of the barbaric country who use them as shields. These children of Palestinian soil are being used by these animals to make all think that Israel is taking lives, when indeed this was Hamas' plan to create the war of evil versus good. Allow the force of truths and justice to bring us all together, and recognize that Hamas and this deceit of their ruling is destroying their own people, not Israel. Israel's been attacked, and the Jewish people, who have suffered hardship for centuries, have shown great heroism for God, love, peace, survived the Holocaust, and now this Hamas Holocaust. Israel, the land of purity of God's promise, is now standing up for her greatest victory. The chosen one, the Messiah, shall win this war. Much love to you. Much love.
Oscar winner, Jon Voight. What an unusual Hollywood superstar. You just don't hear that from anybody in Hollywood, which is surprising, because Hollywood is supposedly controlled by Jews, isn't it? I mean, aren't all the producers and the money people, the heads of studios, are they Jewish as a rule? How is it that everybody's taking this stand against Israel and against the Jews in Hollywood? Weird. Just bizarre.
But, and I appreciate that message fully. But you mentioned his connection with Hollywood, obviously. He's been around microphones his entire career, right?
Yeah.
Like, he knows which way it's supposed to aim it, not out the window toward the roaring engines of passersby.
It is an unfortunate
There's an audio
bad
issue,
quality
right?
sound there for
It's
a
like,
guy who
choose a room in the house that isn't close to the road, and get a microphone. And point it toward your mouth.
But he's an actor. He's not a audio engineer, a producer.
Okay.
He just knows, I look at the camera and I say stuff.
Yeah,
I see.
And that's
stuff
what
happens.
he did. And that's what he did.
I see.
Somebody else takes care of all the audio problems.
Yes, exactly.
Not him.
Powerful message, though. And
really good. Really,
glad
really good.
Somebody's saying it out.
Yep.
Hollywood.
But then in Washington, you got John Kirby. And he's talking about something a little bit different.
Oh, no.
The whole Islamophobia problem we have in this country. Because, man, is that out of control, isn't it? All the protesters in the streets protesting Islam because we're so afraid of it.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Some of the Muslim leaders that I spoke with said that while they appreciate the effort to combat Islamophobia, they thought the timing of the announcement was interesting, because this is something that the administration has been working on for months, and some of them feel that this is a political bone thrown at them and does not address their bigger concern, which is U.S. policy to support Israel, where they are frustrated that their perspectives are not being heard. Your message to them?
This is a very genuine effort on behalf of the president and the vice president and the entire administration to plant a marker about how hate has no business here in the United States, particularly hate that can lead to real threats of violence against the Muslim community, the Arab community, Palestinian community.
Because that's the real concern right now. Am I right? That's the real concern.
You're right.
Yeah, people screaming in the streets right now, hundreds of thousands yelling about Islam.
Right.
Haven't seen a lot of that or any of it, but I've seen the opposite. So I'm glad they're dealing with Islamophobia right now.
Nip that in the bud.
Yeah. And what about a veto by Joe Biden?
Yeah, the Israel.
What about the Israel bill? If it comes to him, is this the thing where
just funding Israel?
Yeah, the standalone Israel bill that he'll veto.
Was the vice president correct? He would veto an Israel-only bill if it didn't have other issues that you were concerned about.
The president would veto an only Israel bill. I think that we've made that clear.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, but man, you stand right behind Israel, don't you? You are just totally behind them right now and supporting them.
So did Kamala explain this veto? Is that what she did? Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see what that's all about. I haven't seen this.
We must stand by the role of the United States as it relates to our global responsibility to uphold and defend international rules and norms and what is right. And so our proposal is that there be aid given to both places, to Israel and to Ukraine.
Yeah,
and we are
the both sides against the middle policy.
The President has been very clear. If any bifurcation of that should occur, he will veto the bill that you have referred to. But let's also be clear that these folks who want to be considered as leaders in the midst of global crises of a proportion we have not seen in a very long time are playing political games with people.
So they're saying we need to fund Israel and Ukraine at the same time. And of course, you know that Zelensky is like, yeah, definitely. Don't be doing a standalone, y'all.
We also need to fund Israel and Hamas at the same time. That's also what they're trying to do right now.
Right.
They want to give all this aid to the Palestinians, which will go directly to Hamas and terrorism. These people.
It's madness. And so while you're working your butt off at your job today, just know that, part of your paycheck is going to something overseas.
Yeah.
We don't know what exactly yet, but it's going. And by the way, did you see that? I saw an NBC News story about how European leaders have been talking behind the scenes with Zelensky, like, it's about time for you to do the peace negotiation thing. So you need to give it up. We've laundered as much money as we can get away with, so we're going to need to wrap this thing up. And now Russia's testing a nuke of a sub. I mean, let's detangle from Ukraine ASAP. Can we?
No,
we cannot. Okay,
no,
cool.
We can't.
All right, well that's good.
We can't.
Right. But yeah, let's definitely send more humanitarian aid to Hamas too, because they'll take care of the people that are suffering. Right?
Yep. We're going to get into Kamala, what she said about Palestinians and honoring them. And Dick Durbin's called for a ceasefire. We'll share that with you. But first, let me tell you about the new documentary we've got, What Really Happened in Maui. We did not forget about the wildfires in Lahaina. The Biden administration took 2 weeks to fly the president out there. And what was going on there? Why were people being herded and not allowed to escape and all manner of things? Here's a quick look at what you're going to see of the movie that debuts today.
911. They blocked off all the exits. My car's on fire at the bypass.
The deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history.
The story didn't end with the wildfire. It started with it.
911 emergency, may I help you? Is there an evacuation order? And if you have to evacuate, where the f*** are we supposed to go?
I can't believe this.
I can see the powers that be wanting to just erase everything.
Could it be that there are nefarious interests that wanted Lahaina to go away? This would be a interesting investigative lead.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land. We were second-class citizens.
Lahaina has been raped long enough.
People died because there were roads that they couldn't escape and that they didn't know.
We got to get out of here. Just go. I have this survivor's guilt that I still have a roof over my head.
They wanted us to forget the story. But we didn't forget.
We're trying to evacuate, but there is no way out.
It debuts today. We decided to go to Maui and expose the part of the story that has been buried. We're revealing new things never heard before by the public, including audio from the actual 911 calls. Exclusive story only on Blaze TV. So, today you'll be able to watch this. The first episode of our new Blaze Originals. It's a docuseries from Blaze TV. This is only possible because of your support. So if you aren't already a Blaze TV subscriber, please go to blazetv.com and subscribe right now so you don't miss this first episode, what really happened in Maui. Use the code FUNGUSFREE and you'll get $36 off.
Pat Gray Unleashed. Missed an episode? Catch up anytime, anywhere podcasts are found. Pat Gray will be right back.
Alrighty. Hey, from the Kexi Bakery, you can get the most delicious pumpkin bread you've ever tasted right now, but limited supplies. It's going to go fast. It's already going fast. There's pumpkin bread, the Boston cream pie cookie, maybe the best thing you've ever put in your mouth. And we also have the eggnog cookie. All of those available right now. We have a really cool business thing, too, that you can be a part of. You can check out the website for more information on that. And if you're looking for something, to distribute to employees during the holidays and stuff, this is a great way to go. Keksi.com, Keksi.com. John Kirby was talking about Islamophobia and the veto on the straight Israel standalone bill that would happen if they did an Israel standalone bill instead of including Ukraine in that. And I'm sure the Palestinian territories, they need their money too. Right. What was it? Wasn't it $14 billion we had to give to them out of the goodness of our hearts? It's just, playing both sides of that situation. It's worked out really well for the last 70 years. I'm sure it'll continue to work out well. It's really contributed to peace in the Middle East. Really has. And Kamala Harris wants to honor Palestinians. So here's more of what she had to say yesterday.
And for the United States, that we will continue to honor the importance of the Palestinian people and their right to self-determination and dignity.
Yeah, there you go. Their right to self-determination.
Cool.
That's where they determined to put Hamas in charge. So that was beautiful, and that's wonderful. And I'm sure glad they made that determination. That was great, and we need to support that and honor them. Oh, man. And then, the Democrats continue to go down this road. Dick Durbin now, I think, is he the first official person in the Senate to call for a ceasefire?
Okay.
Here he is.
Cool.
Is a ceasefire needed now?
I think it is.
He
at
thinks
least
it is.
In the context of both sides agreeing. For example, the release of those who have been kidnapped should be part of this. Immediate release. That should be the beginning of it.
Yeah.
An effort should be made to engage in conversation between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Let's face it, this has gone on for decades.
Yeah.
Whatever the rationale from the beginning, it has now reached an intolerable level. We need to have a resolution in the Middle East that gives some promise for the future.
Okay.
All right. Why didn't we do that before? Yeah, I mean, we have done that in the past.
Remember, there was a ceasefire on October 6th.
Yeah, right. There was a ceasefire since the last time the hostilities erupted because of terrorist activities against Israel. We did have a ceasefire, and they stopped that ceasefire. So why doesn't anybody ever point that out? God, I don't know. It can't work this way. It just can't work this way. When you're working against reality and reason, it's just not going to hold up. It can't work. And that's what we're doing right now. We're working against reality and reason. All reason points to the fact that unless and until Hamas gives up their aim to destroy Israel, it can't be worked out that way. You're going to have to destroy Hamas. And then we can go from there, I guess. But that's what Israel is trying to do right now. They're trying to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. They're sick and tired of it. I don't blame them. If we were being continually attacked across any of our borders, you know that we'd want to do the same thing. And when everybody was screaming and yelling about a ceasefire, oh, the Canadians attacked you, but now we need a ceasefire because you can't be attacking them back, we would completely reject that. Any reasonable nation would. It's completely unreasonable for people to be yelling and screaming about a ceasefire right now. Not until the job's done. They got to clear out those tunnels. They got to clear out the military bases. They got to clear out the terrorists. If it's true that the Palestinians have nothing to do with Hamas, they should be telling the Israelis where Hamas is in the midst of them right now.
Amen.
All right, let's put a stop to this once and for all. Aren't you sick and tired of Israel coming at you after an attack from Hamas or Hezbollah? Well then, root them out. Get them out of your midst. Show the Israelis where they are. Help them put an end to this, and then you won't have to go through this anymore. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Buy a shotgun. This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets from X or X's from Twitter. Something. Azhawk tweets, has Obama held any sit-downs with any grand wizards of the KKK besides Senator Byrd?
Oh, nice.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Mandalorian Patriot, if Hamas doesn't speak for the people of Gaza, why are the people watching videos of attacks and cheering? From Sweater Yams, Obama saying you might hear stories from great-grandparents, uncles, etc. about the Jews. It's talking about the Holocaust. Why do you have to hear stories about it? Is it not taught in schools?
Whoa, and fair
of course
point.
Not.
Yep.
Yeah. Lone Wolf 2965, hate has no place in the U.S. Yeah, we just heard that from Obama officials or Biden officials.
No,
unless
you're right.
Unless the hate's for the bad orange man. You can hate Trump. Hate Trump. Hate Trump. And yesterday they did in court pretty openly. Just an absolute joke in that New York courtroom yesterday. And here's the problem. Trump seems to be showing his total disgust for the judge who's making the ultimate decision here. It's not a jury trial. The judge decides this. So I'm getting a little nervous for him.
Yeah, that judge is
not good.
Boy, he loves himself.
Oh my gosh!
And
yes,
wouldn't let Trump speak.
Right.
He said something like, "I'm not."
It's bad.
I'm not here to hear you speak, or something like what? Isn't that what?
Wait, I'm on the witness stand. Of course, you're here to hear me speak.
And he wouldn't let Trump read a piece of paper that he had with him that would have presumably, according to Trump and his team, exonerated him.
Jeez,
it's just.
No, it's not good.
I don't like it.
Really not good.
We know where Trump won't be tomorrow night, and that is at the debate.
Right.
I guess there's going to be 5 people on stage now. So you got 5. Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, who is John McCain in a dress, Chris Christie, Tim Scott, and Vivek Ramaswamy are your 5. So
they pared it down fairly well.
No,
I said 4 at the max.
Where's Burgum?
But they got 5. Yeah, he didn't make the cut. It's really unfortunate, isn't it? Because everybody wants to hear what he has to say.
He's still in it? You know?
I think he is in it.
He is.
He's in it to win it.
Well.
Well.
But it's election day around the country. I think we got Kentucky hopefully getting rid of Bashir. We'll see.
Hope so.
We got Virginia is doing their thing with Youngkin.
Mississippi has a governor race going on. So we got Prop 5 to vote for because it's so great for Texas. I've been seeing on ads. It's really great for Texas with no new taxes. And it'll fund research at colleges and open up fabulous paying jobs.
So where's the money coming from? Out of the sky?
It's coming from the rainy day fund, which is, just money left over that we didn't spend. And so we're going to spend it now on UT.
See, Texas,
probably.
We actually work hard, at least in some ways, not all of them, to not be like California. And one of them is our budget surplus, as opposed to California.
With the budget deficit.
With their budget deficit.
Year after year after year.
And so we have what we refer to as a rainy day fund, and they've used it for things like road construction, stuff like that.
Is it raining when we do the road construction? Because that would seem to work,
be
right?
Ridiculous. They've done it for property tax relief, I think.
Okay.
Very minimal. I
oh,
think that's
mine went down.
Quarter? About like 25 cents?
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comparatively speaking, about 25 cents.
So now they're saying we won't raise your taxes, but we could fund all this great research at universities, that have large endowments and are already funded by our tax dollars. No. These centers of indoctrination aren't getting more money, especially money that we've done a good job of budgeting and keeping a surplus. Madness. But it'll pass.
Probably.
Because people go like, oh, yeah, that's
that
good.
sounds good. It's good for Texas. There's no new taxes. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, I like learning.
I'm going to do it. Yeah, good luck with that.
We're screwed.
Yesterday, we played this video we're about to show you again of USC Trojan quarterback Caleb Williams, the Heisman Trophy from last year, crying hysterically, weeping after his team lost their game Saturday night. There he is, jumping up. It's the Lambeau weep. He jumped up with his parents.
Mommy.
Mom. Lost again.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to lose this year. I did. Now we're not going to the playoffs.
Seriously, get over it.
I'm still going to make millions of dollars in a few months when I get drafted into the NFL, but dang it, we didn't win. I lost 52-42 to Washington.
And so we did.
Sad.
We had that
It's
commentary yesterday.
Yeah, there's no crying in football,
I was
my friend.
Little
there's no crying.
Concerned after we got off the air. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
I really hope his grandfather didn't die like an hour before kickoff. And that's what really...
And that's what he was crying about.
Yeah, that's what I was fearful of. But then, no, we had some questions at the post-game conference and press conference.
Yeah, he was asked about it, and here's what he had to say.
Okay.
Caleb, obviously emotional after, tonight. I mean, you leave everything out there, what's kind of your emotional state and mentality right now?
Yeah, what is
trying
it
to process this and how the season's going?
I want to go home and cuddle with my dog and watch some shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
We lost the game.
Yeah.
Something to work hard for throughout months,
Yeah,
years.
Nothing to it.
Have big games like this.
Just lost.
Try to go win, play your best. Each and every one of us. We came out with the loss today. So emotionally, I want to go home and I want to lay with my dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, that was it. He was just upset about the loss.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that were, because this was a big Instagram video, a big hit at Pat Unleashed on Instagram. A lot of conversation down below. And I didn't realize this, but you'll recall the TCU quarterback last year, Max Duggan, right? And that was just that. I think this was after the Big 12 championship game. It was, I can't remember which game it was. But anyway, he cried at the press conference.
Max Duggan?
Max did.
Yeah.
He was emotional. And apparently, and kudos to those of you who pointed this out in the comments, apparently Caleb Williams noticed and then tweeted about it.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Oh, look at that. It's a laugh out loud, a little LOL.
LOL?
Uh-huh.
Wait, you're laughing at somebody who cried? That's interesting.
Come on, Caleb. Try harder.
Oh, man.
You need to remember your tweets better,
Oh,
Bo.
man. Oopsie daisies.
Anyway, there you go.
That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. Again, for Max and Caleb, there's no crying in football. Okay? No crying in football. Stop it.
Unless you're a Husker fan. We do a lot of crying these days.
Oh, man.
So anyway, Caleb Williams, congratulations to you. You'll be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL. And then you can go
be a multi-millionaire.
You can cry on the sideline of the...
There'll be tears of joy, though, for
Arizona
a while.
Cardinal. I don't know who's going to get the number 1 pick. Who
Yeah.
gets a quarterback? We'll see.
Also in the world of sports, last week we played that clip of the American hockey player Adam Johnson getting his throat slashed by another player, Matt Petgrave. Here's what happened is the guy... God, it's tough to look at. Jeez, that's disturbing.
I mean, every time I look at that, I try to see if the other player lifted his skate, and it did not. He lifted it on his own.
Yeah.
And then he donkey kicked. It's a shot and then a shot. I hate it.
And there's already a pool of blood on the ice. Jeez.
Watch his
Just
left
so
skate.
disturbing.
I know we've seen this. Boom, boom.
So a video has surfaced now from about 10 years ago where...
Oh, this is the one I was saying yesterday that, I didn't send it in.
Yeah. People are saying he tried to do the same thing to another player.
I don't know.
Take a look and see what you think.
Okay. Let's see that. They'll slow it down here. Hang on a second here.
Has it happened yet?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it already happened?
But we're going to see
Is it the
again.
guy that fell?
It's right... Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. He's about to... Boom.
Okay, he lifted his skate and tripped him.
Oh, he just tripped him.
Yeah.
That's a big difference from
exactly.
going for his neck. Yeah, he absolutely tripped him.
So you see why I didn't send this in yesterday?
Yeah, it's a trip.
It wasn't just because
Big
I'm
deal.
lazy.
No.
It's because it wasn't anywhere...
Could have gotten a cut
similar.
on the shin, though.
Ooh.
Right there, because he tripped him in the leg. So, yeah. Wow. Okay.
So people are now going through all sorts of old game tape to see if they can find something
on the guy
that shows that, like I said, from day one, if he is a jerk, and by all accounts he is, he leads the league in penalties, then that actually works in his favor. Because, look, Your Honor, I mean, the guy's just a bad guy. He's a dirty player. This is how he competes.
Yeah, but there's a difference between dirty player
I understand.
and attempted murder.
I understand. But my point was, if it's out of the blue, then all right, maybe there's motive here. Like, in other words, did players see? Like, I don't know if the two, Adam Johnson and Matt Petgrave, if they clashed earlier in the game, if they had words, if they, if he said something to someone like, "I'm really going to go get that guy for whatever." This is going to be fascinating to watch unfold.
Yeah, it really is. All right. According to a recent study of hundreds of post-abortive women, 60% of them reported that they would have preferred to give birth if they'd received more support from others or had more financial security. Well, that's where preborn steps in. Preborn is there for women when they're about to make that really tough choice, after they've been indoctrinated that that's just a clump of cells anyway. And then they're pushed and prodded and pressured into having an abortion. Well, preborn welcomes women with God's love and introduces them to the beautiful life growing inside. How do they do that? With an ultrasound. That ultrasound costs $28. Just $28 to show a woman an ultrasound of the human life growing inside of her. So you could be responsible for saving a life. That's a decision you'll never regret making. Just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby. Or you could just visit preborn.com/Pat and make your donation there. That's preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Anybody watch the big presentation of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? A whole bunch of, I guess it was a 4-hour situation. 4 hours of performances and whatnot. Sheryl Crow was one who performed. She performed with several people that I guess she likes now, like Olivia Rodrigo and others. And here's what she said about being inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame.
It's the most surreal experience to sit down and write a speech about 37 years, and for me, all the people that started with me are still here. And I really did reflect on the fact that not only did songs get me out of my hometown, but they built this family around me. They took me to places like Israel and Russia. And that's been the award for me. And then to get into the Rock Hall with all the people that made me want to do what I'm doing, it just feels really surreal. I think I won't be able to process it until I get home and have just a few minutes, to sit with it.
That's a 61-year-old woman right there. Would you ever think she's 61?
Oh, put that back up. I wasn't looking at the screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry. Had other stuff happening.
They do a little freeze frame on her anywhere in the video. 61.
Wow.
No way. Wait, that's okay. That's maybe not the greatest shot, but
Joe. Yeah. No, wow. I wouldn't have guessed that.
61. And she's just got a great catalog of songs. Do you like Sheryl Crow?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, I love Sheryl Crow stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But some of the others that were inducted don't make any sense. And I think we've talked about that. But Willie Nelson is in the Rock Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well.
Willie stinking Nelson. Also, who was the other one? Missy, right?
Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott. In the Rock Hall of Fame? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why?
When are they going to change the name?
They should. Right. They should. The Music Hall of Fame, if you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Because all of these other artists have halls of fame they could be entering. There's a Country Music Hall of Fame for Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton. There's a Rap Hall of Fame for all the rap artists. You don't need to dilute the Rock Hall of Fame with a bunch of artists who aren't rock and roll artists.
So
it doesn't make sense.
Help me understand this. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is for rockers, right?
Yes.
So people like what?
People like, I don't know.
Foreigner.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, Foreigner would be a good one.
So you tell me that someone that sings this...
Get Your Freak On? Yeah, not rock and roll.
That's not rock and roll.
No, that's not.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
No, that's
that.
not.
So Kate Bush.
Not.
You mentioned Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, George Michael.
Okay, no. But better than Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, let's see. Rage Against the Machine.
I don't like them, but okay. They're rock, I guess.
The Spinners?
Spinners, yeah.
The Spinners are not rock. That's R&B. Put them in the R&B Hall of Fame.
It really
Who
does
else do we have?
That's it.
They
do need to call it the Music Hall of Fame.
They do, the Music Hall of Fame.
Because then we're not going to bitch and moan every year, except for the Foreigner and Tommy James. Other than that, we're not going to complain about the style that they're choosing. So just stop calling yourself the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You're right, man.
Chris, can you find out when the next list of nominees comes out?
Okay.
Because I'd like to know if Foreigner's got a shot this time.
They don't.
Because we made our case to the guy, I don't know, at the Rock Hall of Fame, 6 months ago? And Keith made a really good case for Tommy James and the Shondells. He seemed to be fairly receptive to Foreigner. So we'll see.
And then that one guy that was I'm pretty sure was keeping Foreigner out. I know he was always arguing with, oh gosh, I think it was a member of the Monkees. I think maybe. Anyway, I don't know. Jan Winter, whatever, he's gone now, right?
Yeah.
Jan?
Yeah, he's gone.
So he's probably was the...
he might have been
the clog in the pipe.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping.
So here, 2024, newly eligible artists.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a long list.
The people who've been out for 25 years.
Yeah.
Is there any really good standout among them?
50 Cent. He's coming.
50 Cent.
Let's see here.
It's about time for 50, yeah. Watch him get in. First year, I bet.
Again,
Watch
why
him get
is
in.
this name on here if it's the Rock Hall of Fame? Brad Paisley.
No.
Is listed as being...
That is country music! I mean, hardcore, too. Just like Willie Nelson. Hardcore country music doesn't belong in the Rock Hall of Fame. Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, stop it. Stop it.
First of all, I'm just stunned here. I don't know who runs the website, futurerocklegends.com, But that's where I found this list of 2024. I thought I was the only person that knew that the band Elbow existed, but they're on this list.
Elbow's finally eligible. It's about time, isn't it?
Feist is on this list.
I don't know that.
25 years?
Feist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer Lopez is listed here. Jessica Simpson.
No.
John Mayer. Let's see.
John Mayer is eligible?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love this that by 2031, Taylor Swift will be
in 2031?
2031.
Lil Wayne.
Should be a first-year entry, I bet. First-year eligible. Lil Wayne, okay, again, not rock and roll.
Ludacris.
Stop it. It's ludicrous.
My
that
Morning
you would
Jacket.
Put Ludacris in the Rock Hall of Fame.
Phoenix. All right. Phoenix has been, what? 25 years?
Man.
Rilo Kiley. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling.
Don't know Rilo Kiley.
Kanye West for 2028.
Sufjan Stevens.
Who is it?
Kanye West.
Oh, Kanye.
Hey, your boy Tal Bachman is eligible this coming year.
He'll probably get in before Foreigner. Tal Bachman with one song that anybody's ever heard. But it's a good one, though.
Let's hear you sing it.
She's so
there we go.
high above me. She's so lovely.
She's so high like Aphrodite. What's the next one?
Good.
What's the next one?
I don't remember, frankly, but
It doesn't.
but is that rock worthy? Is that Rock Hall of Fame worthy? Probably not. Probably not.
Now I'm pissed.
Now his dad belongs in the Rock Hall of Fame, but I bet is BTO or the Guess Who, are either of them in the Rock Hall of Fame? I wonder. All right. Got some. Did you find somebody else that's worthy?
Oh no, I'm just.
Yeah, Little Nas, 2041. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, 2041.
2041, yeah.
Okay, so we got
got
some time to build up the hype for him.
Here's the line. Here's the line I screwed up. You ready? She's so high, like Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, Aphrodite. We got there.
Right. Okay. Good.
That's a fun song. I like it.
It is.
Yeah.
I like the song.
Yeah. Let's put him in. Put him in. He's got one song.
Might as well.
That's plenty, right?
Might as well. Yes. Yes. It actually is. I mean, how many songs did say Richie Valens have before he died? 1, 2, I don't know, 3. There's not very many. He was, 17 when he died?
Oh, wow.
Something like that? 18, 20?
Gosh.
35?
17, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, sad.
And just a couple of months in.
Mm-hmm.
To be in 17.
And he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, crazy. I mean, the criteria is bizarre, if you ask me. All right. We've been avoiding this incredible controversy because I didn't want to destroy Ron DeSantis, frankly.
Oh, what's going on here?
But it's time to talk about the fact that I guess he wears lifters in his shoes.
I can't. Why is this even a thing?
He wears heels that make him look taller.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Sometimes these heels are as much as an inch and a half to make him an inch and a half taller.
Okay, so what's the controversy here?
I don't know,
that
honestly.
He will not admit that he's 5'9".
Okay, so he's only 5'9", and he tries to get to 5'11".
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What do we got?
That's enough to send him to prison.
100%.
Enough to send him to prison.
And the thing that is very interesting was that during the podcast that he was, I guess, a guest on, he was challenged, hey, well, are you willing to take off those shoes and put these shoes? And he said no. That raises flags for me. I can't vote for somebody that is not willing to accept they're 5'9", because I'm 5'9".
What are these pictures I'm looking
These
at?
pictures are the theories of how he stands with these boots.
Oh, come on.
That's funny, though.
Femur, fibula.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
So, no, Chris, are you sincere? Like, you feel that this is a disqualifier if he can't be honest about his height?
Yeah, how can I trust him with the football, right?
Okay.
if you're not willing to tell me that he is 5'9". It's okay to be 5'9".
Yeah, it is okay to be 5'9". Who cares?
Who cares?
I
Just
agree.
say yes.
There's no height requirement for president of the United States.
But I'm trying to figure out how those boots aren't convincing me that they're like platform. They're saying the platform's inside the boot.
Yes, it's inside the boot, and then especially it's very obvious.
He's wearing lifters.
Okay, now the middle picture I see because it doesn't. It shows that his feet aren't filling out the toe area.
The toe area, and the cool thing about it is like there's some walking videos where you can see like the toe area like completely lift up because there's nothing there.
Now I gotta see that.
Okay. Come on. You're grasping at straws. If
no, it
this
really
is
bothers
an
Chris.
issue for you.
I think it bothers Chris. Like,
just admit it, bro. 5'9", it's okay. You don't have to be 5'11".
It is okay,
It's
but
okay.
if he wants to be taller wearing boots,
then tell me. Tell me that's why you're wearing boots.
So
maybe he just likes boots. Is that possible?
No, not from Florida.
Okay.
If you were a Texan,
right.
I would believe it. But you're from Florida. You're a Florida boy.
Oh, does he exclusively wear boots then?
Yes.
Did you see the shoes that Sarah Sullivan, who runs Glenn's board, had on last week?
No.
6 inches.
Ooh.
6-inch heels. Unreal. At least he's not doing that.
How is
I
she
will
walking?
appreciate
Not that
him do
insecure.
that. I prefer that.
How is she walking?
Gingerly. Gingerly.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.